In our video, The Crossover, I talked about how Beyonce was able to get #1 on the country charts and able to cross over many musical genres. And also, I also talked about Robert Glasper, how he was able to cross over many musical genres as well. But this is the thing, most people could not do this. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to compile some videos and give examples of other artists that tried to do what these two did, but they wasn't successful. But first of all, let's listen to what Robert Glasper had to say about the crossover. And he gives a formula. Pay attention, because he gives a suggestion of what you really need to do if you really want to cross over. Check it out.
The same thing with music. You can't cross over if you don't know both sides. Whatever you're crossing over, you have to really know both sides. Spend time in that shit, really know it. Not be a fan of it. Right. Spend time in it. That's the problem. People be like, oh, hip hop, all right, here's a hip hop beat. How come I'm not crossing over? Motherfucker. You ain't living in that world.
That's real.
All the worlds I cross over in, I play with the masters of the world. I play with the masters in the world. That's how I learned it. I've sat down with Jay Dilla at his house, me on the roads, him on the MP, for weeks. Played with the Roots for years. Played with Q-Tip at his house for years. You know what I mean? Like, that's my hip hop shit. And then I grew up in church. You know what I mean? Then the R&B, I grew, played with everybody in R&B. You have to live in that world to really cross over. And people they try to get the fast version of it.
Yep.
But the fast versions don't resonate, and people don't understand why they're not crossing over.
So check out what we put together. It's called Genre Jumping, Why Some Artists Can't Make the Leap. Check it out.
Ever pondered why some artists can leap from one musical genre to another and land on their feet while others fall flat on their face? Let's take a moment to dive into the symphony of the music industry's genre crossing. It's like a daring dance, a ballet of melodies where artists pirouette from rock to pop, from country to R&B, and from hip-hop to jazz. Now, what exactly is genre crossing in music? It's when an artist known for a particular style or genre decides to experiment and create music in a different genre. Think of it as a painter, known for their impressionistic works, dabbling in cubism. Sounds exciting, right? But here's the catch. While some artists find success in this creative leap, others, well, let's just say they don't stick the landing. So, what makes an artist successful in crossing genres? A few factors come into play. 1. The reaction of the fan base. Now, fans can be a tricky bunch. They fall in love with an artist's music, their style, their genre. When that artist decides to change it up, fans may feel betrayed, like their favorite sitcom character suddenly got a personality transplant. 2. Authenticity. Music, at its core, is about expressing oneself. If an artist is genuinely passionate about the new genre they're exploring, it shines through in their music. But if it feels forced or fake, like a bad cover song, it just doesn't resonate. And 3, the ability to adapt. Changing genres isn't just about changing the tune. It involves learning new techniques, understanding a different culture, and sometimes even changing your entire persona. It's like learning a new language, where you not only need to know the words, but also the nuances, the expressions, and the rhythm. So, in a nutshell, genre crossing in music is a high-stakes game of musical chairs. Some artists find a seat in the new genre, while others are left standing, scratching their heads, and wondering where the music stopped. Now, let's dive into some specific case studies to illustrate this fascinating phenomenon. Remember when Taylor Swift transitioned from country to pop? Or when Darius Rucker swapped pop for country? Those are just a few who successfully leaped across the genre chasm. Let's take a closer look at these genre gymnasts, shall we? How did they manage to stick the landing without slipping off the balance beam of public opinion? First off, we have the queen of country pop, Taylor Swift. She began her career strumming country tunes, but in 2014, she made a bold move with her album, 1989, diving headfirst into pop. She wasn't just dipping her toes in the water, she was doing a full-on cannonball. What made this move successful? Taylor maintained her authenticity. She didn't abandon her roots. She just expanded her musical palette, blending her country narrative style with pop beats. Then we have Darius Rucker, aka Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish. After making waves in the pop rock scene in the 90s, he decided to sail into the country seas in 2008. Now that's a genre shift. His secret? He stayed true to himself while embracing the hallmarks of country music. He didn't try to be a cowboy overnight. He just brought his unique voice to the genre, and the fans loved it. And who can forget the legendary Ray Charles? This soul and R&B icon ventured into country and western music with his album Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music in the early 60s. He didn't just cross a genre line, he blurred it, blending soul, R&B, and country in a way that hadn't been done before. His success stemmed from his fearless innovation and refusal to be boxed in by genre norms. These artists show us that successful genre crossings are possible, but they require authenticity, adaptation, and a dash of audacity. They didn't just change their tune, they expanded their musical horizons while staying true to their artistic identity. But not all genre hops are met with applause. Some land in a pit of criticism. Remember when Garth Brooks became Chris Gaines? Probably not, because that leap didn't quite stick the landing. Let's delve into some examples of genre crossings that, shall we say, didn't quite hit the right note. It's not that these artists didn't give it their all, but the switch just didn't resonate with their fans, or with the music industry at large. Take our friend Garth Brooks for instance. The country superstar decided to explore his rock side by creating an alter ego, Chris Gaines. Now, Garth is a talented musician, no doubt about it, but Chris? Well, he was a different story. The fans just couldn't connect with this new persona, and the result? A leap that landed flat on its face. Then there's Snoop Dogg, or should we say, Snoop Lion. The dogfather of hip-hop decided to venture into reggae, even changing his name to symbolize his new direction. But the fans, they weren't buying it. They missed the old Snoop, the one who gave them hip-hop classics, not reggae tunes. Sometimes it's not just about the music, but the authenticity. When Jessica Simpson, a pop princess, tried her hand at country music, she faced criticism. People questioned whether she was genuinely interested in the genre, or if it was just a marketing ploy. There's also the issue of adaptation. Changing genres isn't just about changing the style of music you make, it's about understanding and respecting the traditions and conventions of the new genre. It requires an artist to step out of their comfort zone and adapt to a whole new set of rules. Fan-base reaction is another crucial factor. Fans often have certain expectations, and if an artist strays too far from what they're known for, it can lead to disappointment, and in worst-case scenarios, a decline in popularity. So, as we've seen, not all artists can pull off a genre switcheroo, but why is that? So, why can some artists switch genres like they're changing hats, while others can't quite pull it off? This question has been the center of our discussion, and we've unraveled some fascinating insights. The secret recipe for successful genre crossing boils down to three main ingredients: authenticity, adaptation, and a positive fan-base reaction. An artist needs to be genuine when they venture into a new genre. If it feels forced or inauthentic, listeners will pick up on that. Adaptation is equally essential. An artist must understand and respect the conventions of the new genre, while still maintaining their unique voice. Last but not least, the reaction of the fan base can make or break the crossover. Genre crossing is a high-risk, high-reward venture. It can breathe new life into an artist's career, or it can go down as a misstep. So next time you hear about an artist planning to leap genres, you'll know what to listen for. Will they stick the landing, or will they fall flat? Only time and their music will tell.